Hi, my loves. How are you doing? I hope that you are well. I am going to drop this here, and then I will continue my research as I always do, but I need to get this out. So, um, we are going to start with REU, also known as Ragu, and that's Ragau. There's many different spellings, but as we are finding out, a lot of these people are the same people, and it's just told by different um, people that were there. The accounts that you can believe the most are going to come from Japheth's bloodline and Shem's bloodline. We cannot believe the account of Ham's bloodline because Ham has already been shown as a liar, a thief, and they went back and got the fallen angel technology that caused the flood to happen in the first place. So why would you listen and take what that bloodline has to say as gospel? I'm not doing it. Not me. Okay? And they stole the land that belonged to Shem after they made the oath. Okay? Isn't it funny? See, the Holy Spirit just said to me, point out the oath. Point out the oath. Isn't it funny that it was an oath in the pre-flood days that caused the flood, and after the flood, Ham and them wanted to do an oath for the land. God allowed it because he was over it, and they cast it the lots known as the Urim and the Thummim, and God made sure that he reaffirmed that Shem was the priestly line and the right inheritor to Noah's divine side. Now, that doesn't mean that he was going to leave out the other sons. It just meant that he knew what Ham did and he was holding Ham accountable. So when they made the oath over the land and they wanted to say, oh, well, may death come to us if we break this oath, God, well, he made sure death is going to come to you. So y'all out there that are constantly talking about the New Testament Jesus that you have been taught, which is not God, and listen to me because I don't want to be misunderstood. Jesus is God, okay? But what I'm saying is how he has been taught, how he has been represented. It is a program to make you weak, to make you less, not to make you strong. And many of y'all need to go back into the Old Testament and read and understand and know your birthright in the kingdom. Why is it called the Promised Land? Why? Because they took an oath and God gave it to Shem and Ham stole it. So guess what? When people are like, oh no, you just have to turn the other cheek, or you just have to allow people to continue to take from you and steal from you and spit in your face and treat you like crap. Oh, that's the gospel. No, it isn't. The God I serve told Shem's line, who is the children of Israel that went into Egypt, when he sent Moses and he sent them out of Egypt, they stripped Egypt. Why? Because it belonged to them. It belonged to them. Egypt hasn't been the same since. And as they journeyed to the Promised Land, God told them, wipe them all out. Wipe them out. He didn't say, oh, we're going to just, forgive them and let them stay in the land. Now, there were some that God did say that about, because God is the good God. He is the good judge. But them others, no, he said, take them out. All the way down to the freaking animals. Don't you keep nothing from them. Take them out. So those of you that want to sit here and judge me because I understand my birthright and I'm not taking it up the behind with baby oil and Vaseline and I'm out here holding people accountable for what they say and do, you can, if you enjoy being taken advantage of, you go right ahead. You sign up for that. You keep being Diddy victims. But over here, it ain't happening. So, thank you, Holy Spirit. Because everybody always want to be like, oh, yeah. Oh, and see, the Holy Spirit wants me to reiterate this in this hour. Okay? When Jesus returns, he's not going to be saying, oh, kumbaya, let us get together. He's coming back as they thought he was coming the first time. Remember how the disciples were the first time he came and he told them, my time hasn't come for that. But the second time he comes, it's on, it's war, and he is wiping his enemies out for good. And those of you that have weak stomachs and you don't have no spine, guess what? You're not on God's side. Okay? Sorry, not sorry. There should be a righteous anger in you. Just a flame burning right now against what is going on in the land. Why do you think God said that Noah was righteous? Yes, it has to do with his perfect, he was perfect in his generations, but it also has to do with he was not partaking in the mess. He was not being silent against the mess. He came from a strong line that called the evildoers out. Only in silence and darkness can evil survive. Because when you take that demon by the foot and you drag it out into the light, you can't do that crap no more. You can't do it no more. They do everything in darkness. So, Rial and Ragu. So this is Abraham's great-great-grandfather, shown in the Bible, lineage, in many places, but specifically I wrote down Luke 3:35. You need to read the whole chapter, okay? And then I said, is Brahma Abraham? Okay, Brahma and Sarvati Sarah? Question mark. I know that Noah is Manu, and Noah has many names, depending on which bloodline is telling the story. So I found this writing that said Hebrews, they were an Indian tribe or sect called Kalani. And the meaning of that word means of the heavens. It can also be spelled Calanis. But the way that I found it in an ancient writing, it's Kalani. And unfortunately, there wasn't too much on that because I feel like they have hidden those records or destroyed them. But God allowed one sentence to remain. So I looked into the word Kalani, and this is what I got. It says, one who generates, representing an aspect of Kali according to the, I can't say this, Jayadratayamala, one of the earliest and most extensive tantric sources of the Kali Krama system. Accordingly, as somebody teaches, the goddess about his inner state, There in center, O daughter of the mountains, is the supreme light between two, being and non-being. Within that center, my energy abides in accord with her supreme state of being. She is Kali, who generates Kalani, time. She who is the cause of cog I can't, I'm sorry. Cogitation? I think that's what it says. Kalapana. Then that supreme goddess who devours time issued forth, absorbed in the bliss of her own innate bliss, powerful with the contemplation of her own nature, established on the plane of consciousness and unconsciousness. She is between the plane of consciousness and unconsciousness. She is the goddess of the great void who devours time. So that's all I could find. Now, I'm not saying that, I'm just reading what I found, okay? You can take it, chew on it, and separate it how you see fit, okay? So the Parisians also claim Abram, which is Ibrahim, is Abraham for their founder, as well as the Jews. Thus we see that according to all ancient histories, the Parisians, the Jews, and the Arabs are descendants of Abraham. We are told that Terah, the father of Abraham, originally came from the eastern country called Ur of the Chaldees, or the Chaldees, to dwell in a district called Mesopotamia. Sometime after he had dwelt there, Abraham or Abram or Brahma and his wife Sarah or Sarai or Sarah Iswati, please forgive me, please forgive me. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I know I'm slaughtering the words. I'm sorry. Okay, left their father's family and came into Canaan. The identity of Abraham and Sarah with Brahma and Savati was first pointed out by the Jesuit missionaries. In Hindu mythology, Savati is Brahma's sister. The Bible gives two stories of Abraham. In the first version, Abraham told Pharaoh that he was lying when he introduced Sarah as his sister. In the second version, he is also told the king of Gerar that Sarah was really his sister. However, when the king scolded him for lying, Abraham said Sarah was in reality both his wife and his sister. Yet indeed she is my sister. She is the daughter of my father, but not the daughter of my mother. And she became my wife. You can find that in Genesis 20:12. But the anomalies don't end there. In India, a tribute of the river. Ooh, this is where it gets, the whole thing is deep, y'all, but it gets deeper. So in India, a tribute of the river Savarti is Gahagar. Another tribute of the same river is Hakra. According to Jewish traditions, Hagar was Sarah's maidservant. The Muslims say she was an Egyptian princess. Notice the similarities of Gahar, Hakra, and Hagar. The Bible also states that Ishmael, the son of Hagar, and his descendants lived in India. Ishmael breathed his last and died, and was gathered to his kin. They dwelt from Havilah, India. Don't you guys remember Havilah is named after Eve? And it's one of the rivers one of the rivers surrounded it in Genesis by Shur, which is close to Egypt, all the way to Asher. Okay? Genesis 25:17 through 18. It is an interesting fact that the names of Isaac and Ishmael are derived from Sanskrit. Hebrew, Isaac, Sanskrit, Ishaku, equals friend of Shiva, which we know Shiva is Nimrod. They weren't friends. But okay. Well, maybe they were. I don't know. The Hebrew Ishmael in Sanskrit is Ishmahal, and it means great Shiva. You see how they have taken things and they have mixed it all together, but you have to have the Holy Spirit in order to take it apart. It's like, nah, we need the carrots in one pile. We need the meat in the other. We need the celery over here. Yes, it tasted all great together, but we need to be able to discern what is what, who is who, where is where. And I have been telling y'all for I don't know how long, stop claiming Africa. Because if you go according to the ancient records, Africa was still underwater when the boat landed on Mount Ararat. Make it make sense. So no, we did not come from Africa. And I'm talking about everybody. Because they love to say, oh, well, the oldest woman was found in Africa. Okay, and? That don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing. Because if you go by the biblical account, and then you start looking into the records of the places that belonged to the people, the Hebrews, we're supposed to be looking into the lands that were given to Shem for our history. And it's a funny thing that as this stuff starts coming out more and more and more, this is how it says every knee will bow and every tongue confess. Because they're going to understand. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. And of course, they're going to deify these beings or these people. You have to think about what was the world like then. If you and your family survived the flood and then you started to populate and stuff, of course your nieces and nephews are going to be like, in awe of you and set up tributes of you. And then when hundreds of generations go by, it's going to be lost in translation who and what you really were. It's common sense, people. So I did this video. I liked it. I'm going to be looking deeper and deeper into this stuff. And hopefully you will too. All right? Because we need to stop. Anyways, whatever. I will talk to y'all later.